Hello, y'all. I hope you've had a wonderful new year. This is the first video I've made since the new year 2026, and today's January 4th. I thought I'd just get on here and make a video and let y'all know some things that's been going on and just talk to you because I've missed your faces. I've missed your comments and just being able to tell you that I'm glad that you're here and that I'm looking forward to 2026 with you. Well, we went to Mama's today. Our date day was a little different. We rode up there. Of course, sometimes we do go up there on our date day and spend the day with Mama. And she really enjoyed it today, and we enjoyed being with her. We went to Arby's to eat lunch. That's what she wanted to do today, so that's what we did, and it was all really good because we love Arby's. Well, I left my phone at home, so there was absolutely no filming, and we just spent the day with Mama, and she gave me a card for Christmas, and I thought, you know, I'm going to fill up our medicine, our little medicine, what is this thing called? The little medicine, first aid kit, that's what it is. I couldn't connect it. Now, we have been using a little bit out of the first aid kit because Donald had hurt his finger, and so I thought, you know, that's something that would be really good is if we could go ahead and get this thing supplied back up. So I spent that card today on first aid things. I got these flexible fabric bandages in the 2 sizes that we need the most often. We generally need this big size and these right here. Now, I'm not particular about what kind of Band-Aid I use. I mean, it doesn't have to match my skin, and usually it's not showing anyway, but these are kind of multicolored skin-toned bandages, and of course they don't all match my skin, but it doesn't matter when you need a bandage. What matters is that you're protecting the wound from exposure to more bacteria and germs, and that you're keeping your skin protected and safe while it heals. So I picked these up. There's 100 bandages in this box, and they're flexible fabric, which I love the fabric band-aids. Those plastic, or I forgot what they're called. They may not be plastic, but those bandages are not always the best, so I really do like the fabric ones. So I picked up a box of those, and I don't know the prices because I was keeping up with it when I was there, but I didn't pay attention after I left. Anyway, I got a new neti pot because I liked the way this one was designed, and it was it comes with 50 saline packets, and now is the time, if you ever need a neti pot, is to go ahead and get one. So if you feel like a runny nose or whatever going on, you can go ahead and handle that up front. Now, I got 2 boxes of these butterfly closures, but for some reason, there's only one here. I can't find the other one. It's probably slipped out in the truck. We'll have to see. I got these non-stick pads with adhesive tabs for just different kinds of injuries that might need that. Got this tape. We were having a real hard time with the tape that's in our first aid kit. When Donald was needing to replace his bandages, you know, he had that cut on his finger. He still has it. It's almost completely healed. We'll have to get him to show you that when he gets, when I'm back around him. All right, now all of this is, you know, the things that are in a basic first aid kit when you buy it. But our tape, look at it, it's looking kind of old. And this one didn't want to stick good. And then there was, we didn't have good tape. So I said, okay, well, that has to be replaced, because that's what happens when you don't need it for a while. Every once in a while, you just have to look in the things and replace what you need. Now, I have replaced a lot of the Band-Aids that was in here, the bandages, and some other things, but we hadn't replaced that tape. When he went to the doctor, she sent him home with this, and she sent him home with a new one because he was going to be needing to change those bandages quite often. And so he'll have those in there when he needs them. And then I picked up some today. I got these Equate sports tape because I like the way this sticks. And so I'm going to put one of these in here. There'll be plenty of tape, and I've got another first aid kit that we keep in a different place. And I thought, well, we can just make sure we got the tape that we need if somebody else has an injury that might need it. Now, I went ahead and put it in this because I wanted to keep it clean. It's not sterile. It didn't come sterile from the store. Let me see if I can move some of the stuff around. But it is clean, and I wanted to keep it clean, and so I put it in this little baggie. I could have probably put it in something very much smaller than this, but this is what I've got available. So we've got some new sports tape right there to wrap up any kind of injury that we might run into. All of this stuff looked pretty good. I went through all this and checked it all out, and so it's looking a whole lot better than it did. Replaced a few things, and you know it's not cheap. It's not cheap to replace things that go into your first aid kit. I'll fit these all in where they go. I like to have these for specific things. Little butterfly closures. You never know when you might need something like that. I did pick up some mineral oil because I use mineral oil, and a lot of people are really freaked out sometimes when you put mineral oil. So it suggests for you to put mineral oil on your cutting boards and things like that because of what it's made out of. This says lubricant or laxative here is what this is for. So it's made to ingest. We don't use it for that. We season our cutting boards with it sometimes, and I just use it for general uses where a mild oil like this might be needed. You know, usually we use fractionated coconut oil in most of our tinctures, but this is something I like to have on hand for just different jobs. So I got all that. I got some of this liquid IV because, you know, I get really thirsty, and I wanted to try this to see. It's supposed to have vitamins and nutrients, and it's just supposed to really satisfy your thirst. So I thought, well, I'm going to get that and try it. And this is something we always use growing up because when you have sore throats, especially at this time of the year, this right here can bring a lot of relief to your sore throat and just help you if you're going through an illness. I've got my own homemade version of this, but the kids never liked it because, you know, it's made with herbal oils and it's a little bit strong. So I just got this in case somebody needed this. It's cherry flavor. It's a little easier to take than a homemade oil one that I take. And then I picked this up mainly for stickers and things like that because if you notice, polish is not something I use on my nails. I do oil them, but I don't paint them because I don't like the ingredients in the polish. And I don't like how easy it is to flake off when I work like I do. So I don't paint my nails, but I do like to buy this. Now I know what this is. Acetone. It was wanting to elude me, but it is acetone. So I like to use that to pull off stickers, to clean with, really as a cleaning solution. I do not buy it often, and therefore I think I needed to go ahead and pick one up so I'd have one if I needed it. And then I got these little clips. My hair is getting just a little bit longer, and so I thought, well, I'll just pick up 2 of these so I can clip my hair back out of my way. And that's my haul that I got. I got from Walmart. I picked it up, used the gift card, and got some of these things right here. And I was tickled to death to have it because, you know, all of these little extras, if you go and make a run for just basic things like Band-Aids, neti pots, throat spray, things you might need, oils, you know, just different stuff, it can be expensive. It adds up. So I'm very thankful for this gift. Mama, thank you. I really liked all of it. I liked all that I picked up today, and I appreciate your Christmas gift this year. I love a practical gift. I really do. I love something that I can use. I feel like if you buy something that you can use all year, you're getting a bonus. You're getting a gift every day until you use that thing up. And so that was just something that needed to be done. I noticed when Donald got hurt and we were trying to bandage his finger again after we cleaned it and, put some comfrey salve on it and was trying to rebandage it. I noticed that some of our bandages were just certain sizes and things were, especially that tape. That tape was outdated and needed to go. And so I was glad to get that thing refurbished, because you never know when an accident's going to happen. You just never know. And especially with 6 little grandchildren like I have, I need to know, that I've got something that can comfort them. Now, all of my children's life, whenever anything would happen, we would come straight into this bathroom right here. And we would sit down. I would sit them down right here on this commode. And then I would proceed to be the nurse. I would take care of their wounds. I raised 3 children. They're all grown, and then some now. They're all grown with homes and children of their own. And I don't really bandage up too much in here except for the grandchildren, which they're not with me all the time, so I don't see all the boo-boos. But I do. I bring them in here, set them down in here in this bathroom, and we go to business cleaning, sterilizing if we have to put antiseptic or pain reliever on that wound, and then Grammy goes ahead and bandages it accordingly to whatever kind of wound it is. And I've done that for many, many years, and I love the practicality of Mama giving me the opportunity to go pick out, a gift, and this was the thing that I wanted, this multitude of products to go back into our first aid kit. To me that was just she couldn't have gave me anything that I probably needed more really at the time, and so it was a good gift for us, and I do appreciate it. Got all that put up. I'm going to get all this stuff put up, and then just slow down and have a cup of tea, because it's already night. Today has flown by. There's Cookie. He is tasting Biscuit's food because he thinks Biscuit might have something better than he does, even though they're the exact same thing in the bowls. They're the exact same food. So he's licking all that away. It's a little messy with litter because we did get the new litter box, and the big litter box is in here. I'm making sure she's using it. It may not stay in the bathroom, but because her little training litter box was in here, I wanted to go ahead and put the big one in here for a little bit, even though we have to move it every time we have to take a shower. And then this is her little blanket, because now she is laying on top of this litter box whenever she comes in here, because, this has been the kitten nursery. She's been in here laying up on this litter box, and she knows that this is her area. We used to keep the first aid box up under the bathroom cabinet, but right now, lately, the first aid case right here has been where we can put our hand on it and pull it out when we need it, because sometimes time matters. Now Donald goes back to work tomorrow. He's right back at it, right back to his normal schedule tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. No, tomorrow's Monday. I'm off tomorrow. I don't have any kids tomorrow, but he has work. So he's already downstairs in the bed. It's not real late. It's only 8:49. It's only almost 9 o'clock. But he wanted to go ahead and jump in the bed pretty early because he was wore out from today. He had a busy day, and so he's down there ready to go to bed. I wanted to make a video for y'all before it got too much further into January. I wanted to come and say Happy New Year's to you, and I just wanted to kind of touch base with you, let you know what's going on with us. We're hanging out around here, and I have a lot to do. I have a lot to clean up. Now, I got some little gifts here. Now, some of these things are Donald's. He will take some of these. He takes them to work. One is a water cup and one's a coffee cup, so I've got to leave those there, but I'll get them cleaned out. I got this this teacup right here. Donald got this for me. You take the lid off of it, and it's glass. It's a glass hot teacup. I guess you could use it for cold tea too, but usually it's hot tea infusions. And it's got this little infuser right here. And this is what you take off to put your tea in. Let's see if I can get this to come off. It might take a minute. The infuser screws off of here, and then you put your loose leaf tea in here. And you can put tea bags in here too. But you put your hot water in, put your tea in this little infuser, and then you close it back up. You know, you screw it back on here, and then you just put it in, and you screw it back on. And then of course it pops up right here like this, and you can drink your tea out of here. It's got a little handle on it, and you can take your hot tea with you. And I like that because I prefer to drink out of glass. That's my preference. And now I've got this. I can make my hot tea and take it with me. And then I also got this Rae Dunn hot drink ceramic cup with a lid that I can take to go too. I really liked that. I got this glass from a friend, which I like. And this come from Walmart of all places, which is easy to get. But it's a glass with a glass lid and a glass straw. And I love to drink out of glass because there's just something about plastic that I have always been able to taste the plastic ever since I was little. Especially when I was little. You know, those Tupperware glasses and all those things. I could just always taste the plastic, and the drink was never as good out of plastic as it is glass. And so I was glad to get this. I didn't even know they made these. I wasn't even aware you could get a to-go glass with a lid and a glass straw. So I was happy to get this, and these are not real expensive, I don't think, but they are excellent to carry your drinking stuff in if you're somebody that's just trying to cut out those plastics. And so I got those. I got 3 good drinking dispensers that are glass and are what I am looking for. This one's ceramic, but you know it's not plastic. And I was happy with those. Donald got me these. We went to Hobby Lobby with Mama a week prior to this week, and I saw these there, and of course they were 50% off. Now I've got these knobs, which are silver, and they're fine. You know, I like them just fine. They're just fine to open with. They work, and I'm not really concerned. But you know, I shared with you in the bathroom that Donald had put these. I had a doorknob set that I had bought from an antique store. And so he modified these for me and put them on the front of the vanity so that I would have these big old glass knobs that I love to look at in old houses. You know, of course, these are doorknobs, so they're a good size. And these are not that big. They're big, but they're a little smaller. You know, they're just like pulls. But I really like that look. And I thought, oh, you know, he's saying go ahead and pick out something. Why not go ahead and get these and replace these plain ones? Now I can hold on to these plain ones if I want to, but I just thought that that would be so much prettier. It'd be shiny and blingy, and it'd be what I like, and I could just look at them every day. And so I decided to just go ahead and get those since they were 50% off. Now there's some that are bigger. They were $5.99, and the smaller ones were $3.99, and of course they were half price off of that, which was great. And so I got those. Now I am short one knob because, you know, somewhere in that crazy moment of picking that out and making the decision to change the knobs, I couldn't remember how many cabinets I had that would need to be changed. So I am short one knob. And I'll either pick that up later or I'll just not worry about it. Now some of these are smaller. I think I'm going to put the smaller ones up on the top of cabinets, and I'm going to put the larger ones down on the lower cabinets. Now, you know, I've shared with you before, I don't have a lot of cabinets. I mean, I just don't have a lot at all. This is it. Right here. So, I have one upper cabinet right here. One here. These two. The two over the stove. And then I've got two up over here over the refrigerator, which I never use because that's just an impossible area for me to get to. I cannot climb on the ladder and get back there and get anything that I want to get. It's just, those are not, I've never used those. I've been in this house 40 years, and the stuff that's up there, I need to even look at and see if there's anything up there. And I never put anything up there that I need to access. So basically, I've just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 upper cabinets, 2 of those being just these little half cabinets that are over my stove. And then bottom cabinets are just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all I have. I just have the six uppers and 5 bottoms. And then I just have the 3 little drawers. I have this accessory drawer that holds the scissors and the other accessories that I need in here. And these measuring spoons, can opener on this side. I have this where it just holds all kinds of, you know, covers for containers like that. And just little odd and end lids and stuff that I need occasionally. And then I've got the spoon drawer, which I really need to clean out and put another layer of paint in there. But and these pulls here I've always loved that are on the 3 little drawers. So I only needed 3 of these when we replaced them when we painted them black. These cabinets are birch cabinets, and they were wood for years. And then I just wanted them painted black. You know, I've got a black stove and a black refrigerator. And so I thought I would just love to have them painted black. And when I did that, I changed to silver handles. And of course, these handles were not a need. They were simply just a desire to replace these with something sparkly. Now, I noticed these backs on these things were incredibly long. And I picked up one that was missing its little nut and everything. And of course, Donald noticed that, of being maintenance that he is. He was like, you bought one that didn't have its proper things on the back. Of course, we've got a little thing where we keep things like that. But I said, well, I think we can figure that out, you know. And the thing about it is, too, is these are incredibly long. Look at this. They're going to be a lot longer sticking out than... you know, these, the way these are, the screw goes into the little handle. But the way these are, the handle of this screw will go in there. It will be sticking out of the back side right here. So he is going to have to trim that thing off, this thing right here. I don't think it'll hurt anything because, you know, it's not really going to matter how much is in there. But... he may have to trim it off. You know, he does that with a bolt cutter. He'll just trim that right off. But I just wanted to see the shiny crystal of these knobs. And he said, okay, if that's what you want. We did get the Christmas tree down and the chairs back. I've got the teapot on. I'm going to enjoy some chamomile tea. And I am going to have some goldenrod tea. Of course, we harvested this goldenrod tea. You may have remembered that video where we stopped and harvested this. And I'm going to add an anise seed to my tea just for the flavor of it. I love it. It tastes like licorice. I think it'll be delicious for tonight. And so I'm going to go ahead and have some tea. Now, I still have a lot of things to put in place. I did get the tree down. Me and Donald took that down Saturday, and that was a lot of work. It just seemed like there was just whatever was on that tree multiplied, and so it took us all day for both of us. And then when he got to the bottom of the steps where that tree is stored, he thought, well, that thing really needs to be cleaned out. Let me turn some lights on so we got a bit more light. There we go. Now I don't feel like you're having to look for me in the dark. You can see me right here. I'm right here. I turned the lights on for us. Well, yeah, Saturday as we were putting up the tree, he thought, oh, I've got to clean this thing out. I cannot just put everything in here without going through it all and making sure, I get it cleaned out. So he did that, and I just had to take a break and come up here and lay down. I had a headache for like 3 days. I was trying to get an illness. I just felt like I was trying to fight off an illness, and that head had hurt for 3 days. My nose was slightly starting to run, but I just kept it blown really well. I drank tea. I continued to take extra elderberry syrup, and then the headache stopped, and that was a good thing. My throat was just a little scratchy, not like a full-blown illness of any kind, but it was like I was trying to get some kind of illness. So it was good to fight that off. Thank God I didn't get any kind of full-blown illness this year. Generally, I am a healthy person, and if I get sick, it's always right around Christmas. I'm not sure why. That's usually how it works out, but thank God that was fought off, and I did not get sick, and I was so glad because I had so much to do. But I think I wasn't at 100%, even though I didn't get a full-blown cold or flu or any kind of illness. I was just in the beginning stages, and I felt myself fighting it. I still had to rest more than normal, and I didn't get as much done as I wanted to do. Which brings me to one of my New Year's goals, is that I am planning things and not trying to put so much on myself in each day. I'm going to try to be a better planner and a better scheduler so that I can get things done in a better time, and I'm not working from sun up to sundown constantly. I want to try to work more efficiently and be able to get things done around this house, and that's one of my goals. And of course, it's always a goal for Donald and I to take better care of ourselves, which, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of maintenance to take care of yourself the way that you should. So we're continuing to do that, and Donald's done really well. He has really managed some things that he's got to manage for his body. He's done well doing that. He's doing really good. I have done well, but there's a lot of room for improvement. So I think the main one being exercise, which is hilarious, isn't it? Because aren't those the top 3? What are they called? Resolutions: to lose weight, budget better, and exercise more. So those are in the top. Those are top category resolutions. So I'm making my goals definitely to exercise more. I have struggled in getting in some real exercise because just my lifestyle doesn't open the door for a lot of constant exercise to get your heart rate up, and it's not really what I'm needing. So I'm needing time and discipline to go ahead and incorporate really good exercise. Now, I love to walk, and walking is my main form of exercise whenever I increase it. But if I get up and walk, I'm going to have to get up earlier. I'm going to have to get out and get it done and then get back before I have a lot of other pressing things that are need my attention. So one of my resolutions or one of my goals is to definitely increase the exercise no matter what I have to do, even if I'm running around the house, which will look really it will look really strange to the neighbors if I'm out there just running around the house. I don't know. I don't care how it looks. I got to do what I have to do. So exercise is definitely a goal to increase. I have been watching my everything that I eat anyway, so I'm not worried about that area. But exercise and time management, let's call it time management, those are 2 things that are on my list this year to make sure I'm paying attention to. And making better goals, better choices for myself, just to add value to my life. I think those two are the two things that I could do that would really improve my life. And so that's what I'm going to do this year. Those are the things that I'm focusing on. And to just love those people that I love, my friends and family. I'll be doing that. And that's going to take a lot of energy in itself too, isn't it? Well, the tea is ready. Go ahead and get that going. And of course that chamomile tea is going to make me sleepy. Or it will relax me. Give that a minute to steep. I'm not sure if I like this infuser because the tea doesn't really go in it and I can't really stir it and diffuse what I want to. So, but I thought I would try them and see how they work. I didn't buy a lot of Christmas this year, and I'm so glad. And even when I went to the Christmas sale here and there, I didn't buy a lot because I told Donald I just don't want to store it anymore. If I'm not using it, I'm not going to keep it, and I'm going to let go of a lot of that stuff that I don't use, and I don't want to store. I don't want to buy a bunch of stuff that we have to store. We're kind of cutting back on just what we're buying and putting in, and we've got to go sort through a lot of things anyway, so we didn't want to add to that. That's one of the goals, but I did have to drag out some stuff that I used, and I've got to find places to put it back. I got to put it back. Some fancy dishes and different things that I've got. And I'm like, oh, I got to get these stored back up because I won't be using them as much. I did get this pretty teacup for Christmas. I really like it. I thought that was sweet. Fancy, and it's from Bavaria. That back stamp there is really pretty. And it's just a beautiful teacup. Isn't that pretty? The amaryllis did bloom. It was beautiful. These amaryllis in wax, it worked well. Donald gave his mom one as a gift, and then we had this one. I'm going to go ahead and get that ready to save that for next year. Of course, I think I may have already shared this with you, but Donald bought me this garden journal. A new garden journal. I put the 2026 on it, and so I'm ready to write in that. I always love a fresh journal, and I'll be writing the plans for the 2026 garden in this. I may have already showed you that. I picked these little gloves up for our little grandkids so they'd have something for their hands. They go out and play with Grandpa, and their little hands are cold. I did get this shower curtain. I love William Morris. Now, These are really old designs. These started with block prints, and they were wallpaper way back in the day. Probably, 160 years ago? I think it's 160 years ago that the Morrison Company was created. Yeah, Morrison Company is the original home of celebrated British textile designer William Morris, and the company he co-founded over 160 years ago. Inspired by the English garden, Morrison Company continues to be energized by its enduring beauty, its flora and its fauna, and nature's adaptive temperament with the changing seasons. So this is just, I love William Morris. Now, I love his blue even better than this green, but there was something about the way these birds were and the colors that were in it that really go with my bathroom. And it does have some blue in it, but it has more green. I usually always tend towards, I see biscuit in the background. I usually always tend towards blue over green. That's always been my preference. I love blue. It is calming. It's the color of, security, and so it's just something that I've always loved. But I picked this up after Christmas when I looked at the after Christmas stuff at Home Goods. Donald took me out there and let me look around, and so I got that, and then I got this on clearance for next year. Of course, it was like 70% off. So, you know, I got this at a really good deal. I thought this was pretty. It was beaded, and that gave it an elegance, and it's a table runner. So when I did the clearance run just to look around, I didn't really buy very much of anything for Christmas because, you know, I didn't want to have to store it. I did pick up that William Morris shower curtain, and I picked up that beaded table runner I thought would be really pretty next year. We have taken down most of our Christmas decorations. I have not gotten to this area right here. I have snowmen in a tote that I usually decorate this thing with. I have a little wagons and little different things, and I have a whole bunch of snowmen, and that's what I usually put here for January. But I'm not going to change it this month, I don't think. I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave what is there up for January and just make it easier on myself. Got this little area cleaned up. Now, I usually have more cooking to do during this time of the year because, you know, there's more people here. And so I've had to do a lot of cooking. I've got a lot of stuff drug out that I didn't need to put back. And, of course, you know, that goes along with my new goal is to try and work smarter and plan better and make better use of things. So I've got some things to change over, some things to find places for, some things to put back. And this time of the year, when the Christmas stuff goes up, I usually put out snowman stuff. That's what I put out, you know, for the months of January. And then February, some Valentine's Day stuff will pop up and creep in. And so, you know, I'll just put out a few of those things. And I've got a lot of stuff just to clean up and get in order and to refill. I bought these Star Anise. I showed you those. I've got to find a little spice jar to put these in because I love the smell of them. I'll be using them off of the spice rack right here. So I'll have some things that I'll have to be doing around here. And I'll bring you along with them as I get them done. You know, this year in 2026, I'll bring you along as I get some things organized, some things cleaned out, some things put up. All the things that I have to do, I'll bring you along with me. I just wanted to give you an update, let you know what was going on around here. Been crazy busy for the first week of January, probably busier than I've ever been. I can smell that Star Anise, but this is so hot. I thought it cooled down a little bit while I was in there in the kitchen sharing some of those things with you. But it's still really hot. I gotta let it cool down. I'm gonna drink this tea, and then I'm gonna go to bed, and then wake up tomorrow, hopefully, for a fresh new day, another start, another opportunity. I have enjoyed this year so far. I'm really looking forward to it, and all the things that's to come. I've got some things to share with you along the way. And I appreciate you being here so much. You know that I do. I hope you subscribe. I hope that you like, share, and leave a comment if you got something to say. I hope you have a great day. Until next time.